I used to think I couldn't make a nice set of nails. Like, I really didn't believe I was good enough. This is actually my first time starting a press-on nail business, and the first set I ever made was for my best friend. For a long time, I kept thinking, I'm not skilled enough. I'm not good at this kind of nail art. But one day, I was like, okay, let me just try. This was my very first press-on nail set. Not for a customer, just for someone really important to me. I just wanted her to like it. She likes coffin shape, medium length, something a little strong, but still feminine. Something she can wear to work and also to a party. I always file down the sides of the press-on nails, so they're not sharp when she wears them. So now I'm sticking the nails I already prepped onto the holders. It just makes designing a lot easier. There are actually a lot of different types of nail holders. After working on this set, I realized using a full set of 10 at once was kind of hard to control. It made it tricky to get into the size of each nail, and sometimes the polish didn't go on evenly because I wasn't careful enough. Next time, if I get new holders, I'll probably go with the ones that hold 5 nails at a time. It just feels easier to manage and more precise. I also take my time buffing and prepping each nail really well, so the polish sticks better and lasts longer. That way, she can reuse them more than once, and it's easier for her to take care of them too. I always make sure the nail surface is super clean, even a tiny bit of dust left on there, because it can mess up the polish. When that happens, the final set just doesn't look as clean or high-end anymore. When I apply the base, I try to be really careful. I don't want it to pull or look uneven. And I always make sure to cover both sides of the nail. The tip, no missing spots. If the base isn't done right, the layers on top won't last as long or look as smooth. But when it's done properly, everything goes on better. Final result looks clean, glossy, and long-lasting. I add a little gold glitter to go with the pink tones of the set. It catches the light really nicely, especially for a party. I use the glitter on the pinky and just a little bit on the tips. Not too much, just enough to add a subtle highlight. Before I did the tips, I wanted to add a soft white ombre on the base so the tips would stand out more. I've seen so many videos online, and it always looked super easy. But when I actually tried it, it was way harder than I expected. I had to wipe it off and redo it a few times just to get it smooth. And I realized the lighter your hand, the better the ombre looks. Also, the sponge has to stay pretty dry. If it's too wet with polish, it'll pull the color back off the nail and mess up the fade. This is a matte top coat to protect my ombre. That way, if I mess up in the next steps, I can fix it without ruining the ombre underneath. I worked on this set over 2 evenings, so before I started again, I made sure the nail surface was clean. I just used some alcohol to wipe away any dust or residue. I chose a deep red for the French tips. I went with a rounded French shape because it feels a little more modern and bold, but still feminine. And that's exactly the kind of style she loves. Every time I do French tips, I get super focused. Is anyone else like that? To get that clean, rounded French line, I've noticed the middle part of the tip has to stay really thin. It just makes the whole set look more elegant. So, yeah, I feel like this is something I just need to keep practicing so I can do it faster, but still keep it clean. I've been learning how to place rhinestones without losing their shine. One thing I realized is you don't want the top of the stone touching the glue. I only apply glue to the base of the stone. That way it stays secure, but still keeps that sparkle. When I'm placing the stones, they keep slipping or falling off like this. So I have to pick them up and redo it a few times. I've been trying different tools to see what works better. It does take a little longer, but once it's done, I'm like, yeah, that actually looks really good. I also use a mini lamp first, just to flash cure them in place. so they don't move around. Then I go in for a full 60-second cure. For a little detail, I added some 3D water drops. And then I placed a few rhinestones on this nail again. I used this 3D gel to shape the flower. It was actually my first time using this one, and it felt a little too soft. It was kind of hard to work with. It kept sticking to my tools and my hands. I had to take some time to figure it out, and it also started to lose shape if I didn't work fast enough. I ended up mixing it with a thicker gel to make it easier to control. I think next time I'll look for a firmer gel that's easier to work with. What about you? What kind of gel are you using right now? Now I'm getting into my favorite part, the 3D flower. Honestly, I really enjoy doing 3D details. Do you guys like this kind of 3D effect? I personally love it. So in a bit, I'm going to make a cute little 3D flower. I had to be really careful here. It definitely takes patience to get a flower that looks right. Each petal needs to be even, clean, and have a nice soft curve. I went in with some gel color to add a bit of shading to the flower and added a small rhinestone in the center for the detail. And then I finished it off with another top coat. Honestly, the whole time I was working on this set, I was pretty stressed. Not just because of the nails, but because this is my very first video, my press-on nail journey. But in the end, I still pressed record. I realized if I don't start small, I'll never get to where I want to be. And I'm really grateful if you've stayed and watched until the end. Finally, I packed the nail set for her. At that time, I didn't have my own branded packaging yet, so I just put it in a simple, cute plastic box. I sent it to her, and she said, "It's so beautiful, I love it." In that moment, I felt like I might not be perfect, but at least I started. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like or subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. I'll see you in the next video.